In recent developments involving a high-profile negligence lawsuit, the legal representatives for Ellen DeGeneres have officially responded to claims that the former television host was at fault in a car crash that allegedly occurred in October of 2023. The case has drawn substantial media attention, not only because of DeGeneres' celebrity status but also due to questions surrounding the timing of the lawsuit and whether legal procedures, including service of process, were executed correctly. At the heart of the dispute is a civil complaint filed by a woman who claims that, nearly 2 years ago, DeGeneres was driving a vehicle in Santa Barbara County, California when she failed to stop at a posted stop sign at a four-way intersection, causing a collision that inflicted both property damage and personal injuries. According to filings and court documents, the plaintiff asserts that the intersection in question was controlled by stop signs in all directions, that she came to a complete and lawful stop at her sign, and that she confirmed the absence of other vehicles before entering the intersection. It was at that moment, she says, that DeGeneres' car entered the same intersection without stopping, striking her vehicle at a right angle in what is commonly referred to as a T-bone collision. The plaintiff's lawsuit, which was filed in the Los Angeles County Superior Court in September of 2025, accuses the former talk show host of general negligence, a legal theory that centers on a failure to exercise the care that a reasonably prudent person would under similar circumstances. In alleging negligence, the lawsuit claims that DeGeneres' conduct fell below the standard of care of a reasonable person, and that her actions directly caused or contributed to the collision and ensuing harm. In the complaint, the woman also outlined a lengthy list of damages that she claims resulted from the accident. These include not only physical injuries but also economic losses such as wage loss and loss of earning capacity, out-of-pocket expenses related to medical and hospital care, property damage, loss of property use, and non-economic damages such as emotional distress, anxiety, and loss of enjoyment of life. The lawsuit does not specify a precise dollar amount but calls for compensatory damages that are unspecified in amount, leaving it to the court to consider the scope of the plaintiff's claims and evidence presented. Among the more notable points in the filings is a request by the plaintiff for a jury trial, as indicated in subsequent motions filed by her legal team in late 2025. That request reflects the seriousness with which the plaintiff is pursuing the case, suggesting that she believes a jury of her peers is better suited than a judge alone to decide on matters of liability and damages. Dispute over service of legal papers. DeGeneres attorneys have not simply responded to the plaintiff's allegations on the merits, they have also challenged the procedural legitimacy of the lawsuit. In a motion filed in early 2026, her legal team argued that the service of the summons and complaint was improper and should be declared invalid, potentially undermining the lawsuit before it even advances further in the legal system. Service of process, the formal delivery of legal documents to a defendant, is a fundamental requirement in civil litigation. Without proper service, a court generally lacks jurisdiction over the defendant, meaning the case cannot proceed. Under California law, personal service is required unless the defendant waives this right. When service is contested, courts will closely examine whether the process server followed statutory procedures. According to the motion filed on behalf of DeGeneres, there were multiple attempts to deliver the legal paperwork in January of 2026, specifically on the 5th, 6th, and 7th of that month. But those attempts were made at the offices of a business management firm known as NKSFB LLC, rather than to DeGeneres herself at her personal residence or a known place of business. The filing acknowledges that certain documents were dropped off on December 23, 2025, at the reception desk of Newman Plus Associates, a division of NKSFB, but argues that the location should not count as a valid delivery point. In supporting declarations attached to the motion, Harley J. Newman, a partner at Newman Plus Associates and a board member of the Ellen DeGeneres Wildlife Fund, stated that the firm is neither DeGeneres' dwelling nor her usual place of business, and that she was not present at the office on the dates in question. Newman also emphasized that there was no direct interaction between the process server and any representative of the firm that would constitute a clear acknowledgement of receipt, no explanation of the contents of the documents was provided, and no signed receipt was obtained. He further noted that no copy of the summons and complaint was mailed to the firm office, which further reinforces the argument that DeGeneres did not knowingly receive the legal papers. Critically, DeGeneres lawyers have argued that the presence of a security guard or receptionist in a large multi-story building, where her management firm maintains offices, is not legally equivalent to serving her personally. They contend that, particularly in a building with numerous tenants and unrelated offices, there was no reason to believe that the process server's actions would result in valid service on DeGeneres herself. The argument highlights the technical nature of service requirements and reflects a common defense in cases where celebrities or high-profile individuals may use corporate or professional addresses as part of their privacy protection strategies. If a judge agrees with DeGeneres' motion to quash the service, the lawsuit could be dismissed or forced to restart with properly executed service, delaying proceedings and shifting significant litigation costs back to the plaintiff. Background on DeGeneres and the context of the lawsuit. Ellen DeGeneres, a comedian and television personality best known for hosting the long-running daytime talk show that bore her name, stepped away from the spotlight after concluding her show in 2022 amid unrelated controversies regarding workplace culture. In the years since, she has largely remained out of the public eye, choosing instead to focus on personal interests and philanthropic endeavors. In 2024, DeGeneres and her wife, actress Portia de Rossi, sold their home in California and relocated to the English countryside, specifically in the Cotswolds region of the United Kingdom. Interviews and media reports suggest that the move was influenced by a desire for privacy and a quieter life away from the intense scrutiny of American celebrity culture. Despite her retreat from entertainment, the lawsuit has drawn renewed attention to her ongoing legal challenges, underscoring the fact that public figures can be subject to civil litigation even long after they leave their most visible roles.